Hello everyone, I'm Betty and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I am a conscious channel, an educator, channeling activations and divine messages for the collective. So there are several themes I've been picking up on over the last few weeks. Friends and clients have been expressing low iron levels, brain fog, and fatigue without any reasons why. When you're experiencing Ascension symptoms, we often go to the doctors and get tests done, and when the results come back normal, it can leave you questioning what's going on with me. This is not your imagination. You're simply being restructured to live within a higher frequency, within a higher octave. So every cell, molecule, and atom is being recoded and recalibrated in order to align us with these higher frequencies. The ascension process is certainly not a walk in the park, and I can attest to that. I've had my share, just as all of you have, and it is designed on purpose to challenge us and move us towards mastery of self. This is intended to help us achieve mastery over our mental, emotional, physical, and spiritual aspects. Most of humanity has forgotten that we signed up for this journey, and I can hear the moans and groans. Everybody going, "No, I didn't. I didn't sign up for this." And yes, we did. We all did. We signed up for this so we could take advantage of this opportunity to erase our ancestral, collective, and personal baggage. In return, we'd experience accelerated spiritual growth while helping the planet raise its vibration as we enter the golden age. The kicker is, when entering the veil, we forget everything we know and who we truly are. So basically, we're coming down, starting from scratch. And once we arrive on Earth, the game is on. And it's up to each individual to see past the illusion and to find their truth. And the truth depends on the level of consciousness. So imagine the levels of consciousness are like life. First, you're a child, then a teenager, then an adult, and then a senior. Your truths will differ at each stage. Now imagine that there are infinite levels of consciousness, and each time your consciousness expands, so does your truth. So humanity's truths, if you think about it, what we experienced several hundred years ago are very different than the truths we experience today. Another theme I have observed is that doctors and scientists have reported a huge spike in patients with dementia, Parkinson's, and nervous system disorders. And I'm sure you've all been hearing that on the news too, about different people, especially celebrities and news people. But this is happening because our nervous system is being rewired. Those with older hardware that have not yet awakened are resonating at a lower vibration. So it's making it very difficult for them to assimilate to these higher frequencies. This results in an overload to their nervous system. It's like putting a higher amperage into an old fuse system. It will blow the circuits. And if anybody's ever lived in an old house, which again I can attest to that, and you have those old fuses, those round ones, it doesn't take much to make them pop. And that's what's going on with our nervous system. If you haven't prepared the vessel to hold the higher frequencies, the circuits will become damaged from these intense vibrational currents, causing neurological disorders. So for those of you who are intense thinkers, or what the Chinese like to refer to as monkey mind, and that's where you allow random thoughts to continually run through your mind unchecked. It's just like, it just keeps going and going and going. if you happen to recognize this in yourself, be cautious not to overstimulate the brain, whether it's with work, technology, or just overthinking, because this adds additional stress to the circuits. And of course, you know how it is when you're overstressed. You feel a little crazy, and that really affects our nervous systems. So the younger generations already have built-in hardware to handle and process these frequencies. So they're much better equipped than the older generations. But even though they can be highly sensitive to these energies at the same time, but they're able to assimilate them much better. Now, if you do have older circuits, but you've been doing the work on yourself, you adapt much easier. So it just depends on where your consciousness lies with that. So for those overthinkers, grounding is an absolute necessity at this time. This helps in anchoring these energies and calming that nervous system. And even advanced light workers can be thrown off with the influx of energies. So make sure you're using your tools and practices to keep yourself stabilized. We will continue to experience over the next 3 months solar flares, geomagnetic storms, and plasma waves. So the energies aren't slowing down anytime soon. And October and November will be eventful months on multiple levels. So on October 6th, we have a supermoon, and then we move into our last Mercury retrograde of 2025. We start with the pre-shadow on October 21st, the retrograde on November 9th, and the post-shadow ending December 17th. So it's a rather lengthy one. I will put the dates in the newsletter so you have them. But more significant, and I spoke about this at the last community that we had. I'm very excited about this. I've been waiting for this a very long time, but more significant is that we have an interstellar object called 3I Atlas that has entered our solar system. Most scientists believe it is a comet, but the problem is it's not behaving like a comet. It has a very unique energy signature, and it continues to change colors. I'm hearing from them now, it's actually an emerald green is its true color at this point, but it has the ability to shift. And it appears to have a power source as it's accelerating and adjusting course. So the master shared with me that this is a Galactic Federation Starship. The Galactic Federation is composed of a multitude of benevolent beings that provide assistance throughout our solar systems. And we have many of them, so it's not just our solar system. By the end of October, this starship will be seen accelerating around the sun, becoming visible for the world's telescopes to record this. This will be a pivotal point for the world, as there will be no denying that there is life beyond our planet. So for all of us that watch Star Trek and Star Wars, these movies and shows were just a precursor to help us feel comfortable about the transition that we will be entering into in the next couple of years. Its mission is to serve as an introduction to us and also as an observer. This is the beginning stages of awareness, followed by contact and then landings. Our governments and agencies are aware that this is a starship. These agencies have been working with our galactic brothers and sisters since the 1940s. Possibly beforehand. They have always been with us, for millions of years. This isn't just something new. They've always been with us, guiding Earth, in one form or another. they have been with us and have been cloaked in the skies and underneath our waters. They do not interfere unless necessary. So in November, we will see people awakening from this event. We might possibly even see breaking news followed by a formal announcement. We'll see how that goes. Not sure, how if that will be, but we can hope for that. But this falls right in line with what the masters have been sharing with us over the past couple of years, that this contact would be made in 2026. So they're kind of coming in, and again saying, hi, we're here. And letting us adjust to those feelings. The skies are filled with different ships, but they are just cloaked. And many of you have gotten pictures, in the clouds. I know I have a few. I actually captured a portal the other day when I was walking, which was pretty cool. So, they've been with us. The starship has already been transmitting loving and compassionate light codes and vibrations towards us. Some of you may have already been feeling that expansion within your heart space. Right now I'm recording this the day before the eclipse and the equinox, and I can tell you I felt a transmission and an activation in my heart last night that was quite intense, but it was beautiful at the same time. And it's like, I don't know what this is, but I'm taking it, so I will check into that later. So if you're feeling any type of transmission or download, know it's partially from the events that we're having, but also from the starship. The starship crew has sent coded messages to our governments and scientists, and they have already discovered this. And when I looked at it, it appears like binary codes to me. So they're aware of it. I'm not sure if the scientists have deciphered what it means yet, but they are aware of them and know it's come from an outer source and not our own. There will be those, and we'll see how this plays out too, there will be those that will either try to squash this news or use fear tactics. Please don't lean into fear. If they wanted to, they could have destroyed us a long time ago. And they're making me laugh because they're going, it's not Independence Day. They're benevolent. They're here to help us. There's nothing we need to worry about as far as that goes. They do, however, have much to offer us with their advanced technology, vibrational healing, and unity consciousness. And we have so much to gain from their presence as they're going to help us ascend and evolve. So I'm excited about it, and I hope you all are too, because this is going to be one of those, yes, thank you. We've already experienced 5 Earth shifts. This is our 6th one as we're going into. We're evolving into something else. So as we've spoken about before, we will become galactic humans, galactic citizens. So this is something that's very pivotal that's going to be happening over the next 25 years. Okay. All right, good. I know I could talk on and on about that because it gets me very excited. We also would like to draw your attention to those who are determined to silence free speech. The Earth has repeated this scenario many times before with disastrous results. There has always been those in power seeking to control the masses. So they benefit off of us. But this is ending, and you as individuals hold the power to change this. When you realize fear is just a vibration, you can choose to stop feeding the fear by staying neutral or being detached from any situation. Being neutral does not mean do nothing. Instead, you take inspired action. This is accomplished by hitting them in their piggy banks, because that's what's most important to them. So you can start by canceling subscriptions, stop taping and watching shows, use private platforms, boycott advertisers and products, write letters, vote to expel those who want to eradicate free speech. In a sense, you can consider this as a quiet revolution, one without violence. You're simply withdrawing your support of the fear, and you're withdrawing feeding them so they can't continue to do what they're doing. So they're asking, what if we just stopped listening and our attention was suddenly drawn away from those who create the chaos? Viewership would go down. They would lose their advertisers and products wouldn't be sold. And they wouldn't be happy about that. But if we stop feeding the chaos energy, it will eventually lose its grip and power and have no hold on us. It never did have any hold on us. We just had to recognize what they're doing and that vibration of fear and how it feeds them. Not us, it feeds them. So we ask you to contemplate how important the freedom of speech is to you. And are you willing to let yourself and others be silenced? We would also add during this time for you to embrace love and peace for yourself and for others. And glide, and they're saying glide, they're using the term glide through this time. Don't fight it. Don't get yourself upset about it. Recognize it, take inspired action, and allow yourself to glide through this time. Because they're saying it's going to be so much easier once we hit the other side of this. We will also continue to update you on the 3-Eye Atlas progress and what's unfolding, because as I'm speaking to you, I'm getting more information and I'm going, okay, I need to write all this down because I will forget this. So, but just, if you watch any information about this, you'll see some that have information out there that suspect that this is, an interstellar craft, and others that are still claiming to be a comet. So go to your heart space and just see where that resonates for you, and just allow it to unfold at the end of October and November. Okay, thank you, everyone. Okay, October 5th is our last community of masters. It certainly has been a magical year, and I'm going to miss everybody and miss our monthly meetings. So I can't believe it went that fast. And the masters did not disappoint us. Each forum was, packed with information, wisdom, activations, and attunements. So I thank them, and I thank those who participated. Our final forum will conclude with the third eye chakra and activating and attuning all the 96 chambers within. The masters will be speaking about the fifth dimensional healing experiences and abilities that occur when you switch on once you're attuned. Our honored guests are Lord Shiva, Master Hilaron, Archangel Raphael, as well as the entire collective of cosmic beings and masters that have shared with us throughout the past year. So if you'd like to join us, head over to my website, which is listed in the description box below, and it'll have all the information. And if you're looking for the private one-on-one sessions with the masters and I, you'll also find that along with my other services. Okay, this month's light language activation, they gave to me, they wanted to transmit and activate the erasure of discontent and disharmony within the heart space, and the stabilization of incoming light codes that we're receiving. And I have a feeling next month, whatever the Starship is sending us, we'll be activating that also and bringing more about that. So, okay, let us begin. Dahishtanaya aku aranaya sietiana. Agarania sienia uru urtia sanaya. Ayana si mahachrini I mahoretia mariatia su. Yanona hariniato su. Tu krianianas oreniasitidia supa anea. Tu kaniana neako. Tu kurinia arusu urinia. Poriati itinini oretiesi enderia deraso wa urinya na yesipita uharani ti amuna asu ururma aid waranenya siekriania area haroshtu anunu ama aku ba asu una ne ianea surianama sewinia iniana Kiria, tiria, ma uru, ma asu, yanininia, area su urenia harenia, lahalia tusu, orientisia hatinia mia ara. Dininia ka ankariatia su bari enste areni orienia ka baru usu urinia, se oriena mia ku arana. Nayania kai suurietiana bariana naroriambia kurorianasa. Balance, balance, balance. Clearing paruishtea akurinia amaye turiniane aka aroru. Ankia kurinia tayasu. Ran aktayama aro uriniatiesi. Te o umanane akareanaya, anchoring and activating all codes. Giatia tia su amanaya, diarenayana su purinianiaka, nana neaoriatea su uru yananiaka. Niariasa eniana wariatesa, tarene mibia kutasa, ne ariente usu. Dia kurinte, bahareniatia daya kurenta. Nadimenenia, mahoramaya karia ene akiriatusu, orenia wikmi harene, bahaneatusu yemai. That felt lovely. That was nice. You can play this back as often as you'd like if you feel like you need to go in again. And they're having a little addition to aside to this too. If you feel any anger rising up, which is normal, okay, just release that without judgment. Don't hold on to that because this is what's happening. We're releasing that. So that's a little addendum for you. Okay, so thank you for watching. Stay conscious throughout the month, and I will see you next time. Take care.